to heal of Parkinson's over 20 years ago. But it's nobody's created anything like this. I tell people at health fairs about it, and they kind of just fall off somewhere else because they all got their own superfood shake and whatever. But this is a superfood shake where the proteins from cow milk have become like mother's milk. You see, cow milk has 90% casein, which humans can't process 90% casein. It's what makes dopamine, so many a little bit more casein than women, but a mother's milk is about 50-50. If she has a baby boy, there's a little bit more casein. If she has a baby girl, she has more whey protein. And the body just naturally gives the child the right balance. So I looked at that balance, and I took cow milk, but I took the balance of mother's milk of casein and whey. Whey makes serotonin, casein makes dopamine. Dopamine gives you pleasure and motivation. Serotonin keeps you calm and relaxed. So let's have both of them in the right balance for men and women. And then put it in a form that can be digested, because it's a heat process, pasteurized. You can't get much benefit from it. So here you get nearly raw. There's just a little bit of flash pasteurization, just to make sure there's no TB in it, tuberculosis virus. So you get a little flash, and it's still undenatured is what it's called. It hasn't lost its potency. Then what you do is you add enzymes, you add water, and it's all in the mixture, just add water. And then it will digest itself. Digesting itself is the key. And I have to keep saying this. I know some of you heard me say it, but they don't do it. And if you're not doing it because you're in a hurry in the morning to take it, just make it at night and put it in the refrigerator. First, let it sit 30 minutes. And then put it in the refrigerator so you can drink it first thing in the morning along with super minerals. And that will provide the foundation so that then when you do the right things in sex and you do the right things in your relationship, you're not overreacting so much, and your body is able to find its balanced place. So I'm going to come back to reading the comments, but I just want to talk about that one. And my hug to America. Looking forward to the meditation Monday. That's Noha. Natalie, good afternoon. Eva, hi. Noha, hi. I'm going to kind of skip towards love, sending love. Oh, the quality she wants in a soulmate relation is love. It's to feel the love. You know, we can love our partner, but to feel the love and then say, I love you. And to be able to say, do you love me? What I notice a lot is that when women, you know, when they're starting to orgasm, there's this feeling their need for reassurance is even greater. And I want to suggest it's okay. It's that you love me. And then the man says, I love you. It's such a beautiful thing. Thank you, Yasra, Bonnie, may she rest in peace. She's in my heart. She's in my heart. Wow, I didn't know about Bonnie. My condolences. Thank you, Tracy. Sorry to hear about your loss. Thanks for sharing and being open. You can hear more about that on my relationship talk on Wednesday, on my Healing the Heart talk. That's a really good talk from a couple of days ago. It's at my Facebook site on helping to process loss. I do eventually want to write a book called How Do You Say Goodbye? Because I wrote a book on processing loss, which is called Mars and Venus Starting Over. You know, if you break up a relationship or you feel a loss, that can, massive, wonderful processes in there, tremendous insight. But it didn't really focus on a long-term marriage. Oh, a long-term marriage is a whole nother story, at least in my experience, because, you know, I've created a life with Bonnie, 34 years. She's my partner in everything I do. And so now I'm doing it all myself, and it pushes all these buttons, you know. It's like a knife into my heart, and then I'll cry, and then I come back to remembering sweet memories. See, that's the whole thing. Don't deny your feelings, but don't just go there and indulge in it. I did indulge the first 6 months. I just let myself wailing, because it was so primitive, deep inside of abandonment, such deep feelings. But now it's all much healing has happened, but still it's like a knife sometimes. I was just in the closet yesterday, but it's sweet to feel the deepness of love, because every time you process pain that's inside of you, you will get to a deeper level of feeling love. And that's how we grow. And you go to a deeper level of feeling love, more genius can come out. I mean, so many of my friends say, John, you just look great. You know, it's like you're getting younger and whatever. And that's the grieving process. You know, some people don't know how to grieve. They don't become better as a result. They don't grow in wisdom. They don't grow in love. You know, I get more love for Bonnie now than I did when we were together, except when we're having sex. When we had sex, there's no endless love. from me. And that's what women need to know. It's only during sex that a man's estrogen levels can shoot up so high. And estrogen is the biological remedy that generate the feeling of love, is estrogen. And men, if they have too much estrogen and they don't have more testosterone to balance it, then they become angry or afraid. Also, when men ejaculate in sex, it's because their estrogen levels go too high for their testosterone. Some men never ejaculate because they have, good testosterone levels, but their estrogen levels just don't open up. They don't go up because they don't feel. They're not in touch with their feelings. They're just sort of way on their mouth, which is both masculine and feminine. So they make love to their wives, their girlfriend, whatever, and they ejaculate so quickly because they have so much estrogen being produced. So you have to go through practices for that. I do have a whole course I highly recommend it. You can go to marsvenus.com and I have a course on sex. Mars Venus in the bedroom, 8 modules. It's a really wonderful course. That's a really good one for women who are wanting to, make sure when you're dating a guy or when you're already in a relationship and you want to practice these new skills as opposed to just read them in my book. We also have an online course called How to Get Your Me Time that Lauren teaches. My daughter Lauren, she's 34. She's been in a relationship 10 years. It's magnificent. She's a happy girl. She knows how to put all this stuff into practice. She had good role models from her parents, and then she's a step beyond. Every generation can be a step beyond. I'm amazed by her brilliance. So that's her course, How to Get More Me Time. Not always the right title. It could be called The Feel Good Woman. It's going to be retitled that eventually, but it's an amazing course of putting this stuff together, and you can go online. You can take that course now. It's 8 modules, and they have little quizzes. They have summary sheets. They have cheat sheets. They have the videos, and Lauren just put the whip to me when she made that course because I had to go over every word and go over everything. Father-daughter team working together. Sometimes she'd write something for it, and I'd say, Lauren, I have bad news. And she said, what's that? I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Because she always wanted me to add to it and correct. And if I said it's fine, she says, oh, Dad, you're just being lazy. Because I can be lazy. Part of my happiness is I've learned things don't have to be perfect. I accept life the way it is. I'm able to go with the flow. And I keep my heart open that way. We get into this stress place. We have a bias. We just start fixating on negativity. And that's why I invented the super minerals. Anytime your brain is looping, those minerals, the super minerals, they're bonded to mother's milk, a substance in mother's milk. They get into the brain and they help to balance the dopamine and serotonin. So I've got just 15 minutes more. So let me read down some questions and formulate what I'm going to say in response to those. I'm so glad that you're talking about this. I met you and Bonnie at your soulmate workshop years ago, and your love radiated. What a good message you're sharing here. I appreciate that so much. And it reminds me of some of my wife's friends, because they will come to me, because I talk to them more, and they say, you should just be able to see the glow on Bonnie's face when she's in one of your seminars. She just, she admired me so much. And I was so lucky to have a partner to admire me so much. It's just nothing more wonderful than that for a man, because it's a big testosterone booster. But at the same time, when she's out of balance, she doesn't feel that admiration. When a woman is stressed, she loses her ability. Men, you have to hear this. She loses her ability to remember how wonderful you are. When she's stressed, she goes into this bias. Blood stops going to the optimistic part of the brain, goes to the pessimistic part of the brain. Actually, this is the optimistic part. This is the pessimistic part. And then a stress reaction happens, and then blood flow stops to the front part of the brain and goes into the limbic system. And now you're reacting. You're living in the past, and you're reacting to things now as if, due to some pain or trauma in the past, it's taking over now. That's the 90-10 principle, which we talked about on Wednesdays, which is healing your heart. How to combat that, because we're always overreacting. We are always overreacting to life if we're negative. Life is amazingly wonderful. And trees are amazing. I know this is funny to hear, but I share with you myself as it is. I'm just so blown away by how beautiful tall trees are. I now walk around my forest that I live in, and these trees never seemed like the Grand Canyon to me, but Bonnie was enamored by the trees. So what happened is I'm healing, I'm able to experience what I was attracted to in Bonnie in the first gift of carrying her with me. And so I have this newfound massive appreciation of nature. And I remember when I met her, I did say, you know, honey, Bonnie, until I met you, my life was kind of black and white. I didn't know it was missing all the color because we go for walks. And she said, oh, look how beautiful that is. Look at those little flowers. Oh, this is fun. You know, it's why we like what we do. Children, you get to see those animals for the first time. Again, the problem is that I will resist her. And that pushes my present time truth to it. If we don't want to hear that understanding. So if you're not feeling empathy and understand that you're not embracing inside. So that's a soulmate. A soulmate helps you to grow. They push your buttons. It's like they're the perfect person to push your buttons, but also to take you to a higher level. So you celebrate, like going on steps. You know, you go up and then you plateau, and then you go up and you plateau, and you go up and you plateau. And that plateau is where you can do some self-healing, take responsibility, or do things that make you happy, or seek out other needs besides the needs of romance and intimacy, which is our primary need we have with our partner. Oh, Monica says, so happy you found someone. Thank you. Andrea says, how did we find it, especially when my late husband was so amazing and unrepeatable? You know, finding love again for women is a little more challenging than for men. Because see, men know we need sex, okay? It's through sex that we feel love, and our deepest need is to feel love. Women don't know they need sex so much. They find sex through love. When a man loves her and she loves him, then the energy goes from the heart, goes down to the sex center. And then she can go, wow, I really need this. But she doesn't know she needs it. She can walk, she can live without sex. Men can't. If they have enough confidence in themselves, they want sex. And that helps open his heart, and his heart opens and he's able to heal. And for men who have, you know, if you lost your wife and you've got some big trauma, you need to be with somebody who understands. You know, my partner lost her father, and around the time I lost Bonnie, or a little bit before. So she's going through her grieving process. So we both understand that, you know, tears are going to come up. To have somebody who understands that is really, really helpful. You know, I know another friend of mine, she lost her husband, and she was in a grieving group, and she met a guy and they got married because they understood, you know, nobody replaces your soulmate when they die, but you end up finding a new partner and growing in love together and creating a new soulmate. And that takes time. You know, there's a understanding that you can have your heart open, but when you've had your heart open to somebody for 34 years, it's very different. You can't get that overnight. You get a big flash of love and whatever. But for women, the average is 9 years before they get married again, because they